Almost every rider has one or two bad riding habits, whether they realize it or not. These habits not only make riding hard, but they could also put your life at great risk. Today, we will explore 15 rider habits to break in 2025. Number 1, riding without proper gear. Riding gear might be quite expensive, and you might say to yourself, I'm only riding around town, I won't need it. But the thing is, accidents can occur at any time, not minding if you're ready or not. Whether you're a beginner or a professional, they do not care how far your ride is. A simple low-speed fall could cause bruises and might even shred your clothes like tissue paper, not to mention fractures or severe life-altering consequences. Studies have shown that riders without proper gear are likely to suffer severe injuries in a crash accident. Riding without proper gear isn't just a poor choice, it is a gamble. Helmets alone reduce the risk of head injuries by 69% and the risk of death by 37%. But a helmet alone is not enough. You need motorcycle jackets built with padding at the shoulder, elbow, and spine to protect your skin during a slide. Motorcycle parts made with reinforced materials and motorcycle gloves prevent your hands from slipping, especially in wet or sweaty conditions. Motorcycle hoodies and boots to protect your body, knees, feet, and your ankles. Number 2, assuming drivers see you, whereas they don't. Most riders are victims of this. They assume that drivers can see them because they're wearing a helmet or because they have a bright light on. The truth is that drivers cannot see you because they are distracted and they are not looking for motorcycles. Beginner riders often sit in blind spots for too long. They overtake near intersections and ride along big trucks without realizing how quickly things can go wrong. One wrong move from a driver, and they're in a dangerous spot with no escape. Motorcycles don't have the same safety features as cars, such as airbags or crumple zones. That means your stopping power relies entirely on your reaction time and the space you have to stop. When you're too close to the vehicle ahead, you're reducing the crucial space. If the car in front of you slams on the brake, you might not have the time to stop, leading to a collision or loss of control. Riding is not just about avoiding crashes. It is about never assuming you've been seen. Always plan for the worst. Imagine that the car could drift into your lane, that the driver can't see you, and they could forget their signals. Take precautions by keeping your distance, beaming your headlight, and honking if you need to. Ride like you are invisible, because to most drivers, you are. Tailgating doesn't speed up traffic. It only creates unnecessary risk. On number 3, we have target fixation. One of the biggest problems riders face is staring at what they are trying to avoid, and they can't take their eyes off it. Where the eyes go, the ride goes, and this results in the bike running into or over the imminent danger. Target fixation is responsible for a lot of danger that happens. It could be a car accident, a rock, or even a pothole. Instead of looking for a way around it, your brain locks onto it, and before you know it, you've run right into it. Some theory studies in motorcycle safety show that riders who fixate on obstacles are far more likely to crash into them. In most situations, when the riders are stressed, they get into a corner too fast. They get frightened and stare at the tree or oncoming traffic, and that's exactly where they end up. How do you fix it? Train your eyes to always look where you want to go. If you're riding into a turn, keep your eyes on the exit, and if there's a porthole, keep your eyes on how to escape it, and your bike will follow your vision. Number 4, improper use of the rear brake. Brakes are one of the most important parts of the motorcycle and one of the most critical skills to learn. Although most beginner riders either overuse it or forget it exists at all. The front brake is responsible for about 70 to 90% of a motorcycle's braking capacity, and over-reliance on the rear brake can lead to overskidding, especially when cornering. On the other hand, ignoring it compromises stability and smoother stops. Cruiser riders and dirt bikers are especially guilty of this bad habit since they are used to the rear brake. Slamming the rear brake can lock up the back wheel, causing a skid, and if you're mid-turn, that could be a low-side crash. The key is balance. Use the front brake as your primary stopping power and use the rear brakes for stability and support. When next you need to use the brake, gently apply the rear brake along with the front when stopping, and notice how your bike stays leveled without unnecessary front-end dive. If you release the brake quickly, the back of the bike will spring up, leading to a lack of control. But if we release the rear brake slowly, it controls the rebound. Also, holding the rear brake for too long can lock the rear tire. Let's have a look at the next one. Number 5. Revving at a stoplight like you're in a race. You must have come across riders revving their engine when they get to the traffic light, blipping the throttle like they're in a race. Revving at a stoplight is not cool at all. It is just hard on your bike, wastes fuel, places unnecessary stress on it, and makes you look like an amateur. When you're at a stoplight and you hear the revving of a motorcycle engine or honking from other riders, it can be nerve-wracking. There is a difference between gently feathering the accelerator at the stoplight and full-on revving, disturbing other road users, which is poor biker etiquette, which is one of the major mistakes people make when riding a motorcycle. It makes you seem like an attention seeker, while true riders don't need to seek attention. Their riding speaks for itself. It also reinforces a stereotype that motorcycle riders are reckless. When the light turns green, start smoothly, showing off your skills as a true rider. So next time you're at a stoplight, resist the urge to revive your engine. Instead, focus on smooth throttle control. Number 6. Riding with a stiff arm and a death grip. This is a major attribute for beginners. They are tense, trying to focus, while riding safely, all at the same time. Your instincts always tell you, grip tighter, hold firmer, else you'll fall off. The truth is, the more you tense up, the harder it is to control the motorcycle. When the road is traffic-free, loosen your grip and let the leather of your gloves assist in maintaining control. You would be surprised at how easily you can keep the throttle steady without a death grip. Motorcycles are built to move beneath you. That's how they maintain balance. Most times, we're not even aware of our tight grip, especially when approaching gravel or a sharp sand corner that makes us feel uneasy. By relaxing your hand, you'll alleviate muscle tension and reduce the amount of vibration transmitted to your body. When your arms are stiff and your hands locked on the bars, you're fighting the bike's natural movement. It turns every corner into a struggle. Every bump becomes a surprise, and the whole ride is like a workout session. Next time you ride, wiggle your fingers. Your shoulders should be up near your ear, your elbows locked out like a robot. Then relax. Keep your arms loose. The bike knows exactly what to do. Moving on, we have number 7, looking down instead of ahead. As a rider, your gaze should be fixated on where you want to go, not where you are. Beginner riders often stare at the road in front of them, especially in tight corners. One thing you should remember is that the bike does not follow your feet, but your vision. When you keep looking down, you miss hazards right in front of you. You stumble on portholes, curves, or even sharp bends. Always fix your gaze on the road, scan ahead. In corners, look through the turn, not at the turn. In traffic, look 3 to 4 cars ahead. When your eyes are up, your reaction time improves your riding. The next on the list is number 8, poor lane positioning. Where you position yourself in a lane is not just about staying in the middle, it's about safety and visibility. Most beginners ride too close to the center of the lane, not realizing that's where oil, dirt, and debris collect from cars. Some other riders drive to the far end of the road, which can put them in a dangerous position. The best option is riding where you will be seen easily and with the best escape routes in traffic. That means the left or right third of the lane, depending on surrounding vehicles. Staggered formation helps maintain space while allowing each rider room to maneuver. Avoid riding too close to vehicles. Keep a good distance of about 2 to 3 inches away to be able to avert danger and react to stops and obstacles when the needs arise. Always remember to position yourself where you can see and be seen, says the rule of thumb. Now, let's move on to another crucial point on our list. Number 9, ignoring maintenance. Because it's still running. Most motorcycle riders are guilty of this. They keep riding the motorcycle even without simple maintenance practices just because it hasn't broken down. One of the biggest mistakes is ignoring maintenance, just because the bike feels fine. Here's the thing, when you keep avoiding maintenance, one day the motorcycle will break down violently, and then it will take so much to fix it. Check for oil, fix your chain, and grease its parts. Skipping chain maintenance is as good as jeopardizing good speed. Skipping brake inspections means you could keep driving on the highway with no way to stop. Oil checks should be taken very seriously too. Maintenance isn't a hard chore. It is insurance for both your life and property. Imagine riding at full speed and you get to a stoplight, but cannot stop because your brakes are faulty. As a good rider, maintenance should not be taken lightly. Never skip maintenance day. Simple checks like this could keep you away from danger and increase the durability of the motorcycle. Before taking the motorcycle out for a ride, walk around it and inspect it thoroughly to know what needs to be changed, what needs to be fixed, and what not. The thing is, you won't always see the danger coming, but when it hits hard. Take care of your motorcycle, and it serves its purpose. Ignore simple maintenance, and one day it will ignore you as well, on a day when you need it most, probably on the highway or on a lonely path where you won't find a mechanic. Number 10. Riding too close to vehicles. While many riders do not tailgate intentionally, this poor riding habit can be ingrained and become second nature. It can come off as annoying and reckless, yet so many beginner riders follow too closely, either trying to keep up with traffic or underestimating how quickly they can close the gap. Tailgating increases the odds of a collision, especially when the driver in front hits the brakes abruptly. The rider is liable to tap or crash into the other vehicle's rear bumper, which is likely to do more damage to the motorcycle rider than the larger car. It might even result in the rider losing balance or launching from the saddle altogether. Motorcycle riders cannot control other drivers' actions, which is why the National Safety Council recommends that motorcyclists must maintain proper safety measures. One popular misconception is that motorcycles brake faster than cars. The truth is that they accelerate quicker, but need more distance. One panic brake on the road, and you're not just skidding, but launching over the trunk. Close following also prevents visibility. You can't see potholes, debris, or any other blockage until it's too late. Keep a 2 to 3 second gap, ride smart, and give yourself every chance to react when it matters most. The next rider habit might seem amusing, but is very real. Number 11. Learning only from YouTube or TikTok. In 2025, most riders will prefer to watch videos online rather than go for physical training. You can watch these videos on YouTube and TikTok to get tips, inspirations, and gear reviews, but it can never replace real-time experience with professional instructions. Learning to ride a motorcycle by watching short YouTube videos on cornering doesn't mean you know how to ride properly. Learning about counter steering from a 30-second clip won't teach your muscle memory how to react in a panic. Riding a motorcycle takes coordination, muscle memory, and lots of practice. You have to balance the bike, know where and when to use the brake, and throttle. You have to be able to listen to the engine to know when to shift. Divide your attention between the road ahead and traffic behind, traffic to the sides, as well as your speed. Some influencers share oversimplified tips online without explaining the real deal that could get you hurt. Spend time with an actual instructor or tutor to learn how to park, how to rack up your instinct, how to maneuver, and dodge an incoming threat. At the end of the day, your motorcycle does not care how many videos you've watched, but how well you've practiced and how you're able to control the bike. Number 12. Forgetting to cancel your turn signal. As little as it might seem, forgetting to cancel your turn signal is one of those simple mistakes that can have serious consequences on the road. Since those around you think you'll be turning, one of the main situations when this can be dangerous is when a car thinks you're turning, so it cuts you off and enters the road, and you could crash into it. Many riders, especially beginner riders, do not understand how confusing it can be to other drivers or riders. When your signal is still blinking long after your turn lane, it creates a problem. A flashing turn signal is an indication that you want to turn or change direction. Leaving it on will make other drivers assume that you're about to turn. Most motorcycles don't have self-canceling turn signals like cars. That means it's up to the motorcycle rider to turn them off, irrespective of how easy it is to forget, especially if you're a new rider or you get easily distracted. Forgetting to cancel your turn signal can lead to an avoidable crash. The fix is to build good habits. Once you turn, put off the signal right away. Most riders tap the off button as often as possible, just in case it's turned on. It's a good habit. Let's have a look at the next one. Number 13. Stopping in the middle of a turn like you forgot how the road works. Stopping in the middle of a turn means you don't trust your bike or your skills. Stopping mid-turn is as good as creating hazards for people on the road. Motorcycles are designed to lean into turns. Its suspension, tires, and balance are built with the assumption that you'll be leaning into the curve and keeping your throttle steady. When you apply brakes in the middle of a curve, you upset the balance, causing a reduction in stability, which makes your handling unpredictable. When a motorcycle is leaned over and suddenly stops, it could easily slide out from underneath you, causing you to lose control and fall off. When you're turning, your tire is working hard to maintain traction while you lean. If you suddenly stop or distract the process, it makes it easier for the bike to slide, skid, or even a high side crash. This occurs when the back wheel loses grip and the back jerks, throwing you off to the opposite side of the bike, leading to severe injuries. Your bike is designed to lean and will maintain that lean if you keep the throttle steady and avoid any sudden jerky movement. Instead of making last-minute adjustments and breaking the turn, control your speed before you enter the turn, slow down, and adjust your speed before you lean into the curve. It's okay to feel nervous at the beginning of a turn, but practice more and learn to trust your bike riding abilities. Moving on, we have number 14, dragging your feet forever after taking off. Thinking back to childhood, learning to ride a bike was one of my most difficult endeavors. You wanted the thrill and independence that came with having your motorcycle. They'll always tell you to ride slowly, that a slow crash would be less painful than a fast one. On the contrary, riding too slowly had its downsides. When you ride too slowly, balance becomes a problem. You shake and shimmy before tipping over. It takes speed and momentum to stabilize, to make progress on your journey. The reality is counterintuitive. The slower you go, the more likely you'll fall. If you haven't mastered low-speed maneuvering, you'll find yourself dragging your feet after taking off. It might seem as if you're trying to stay stable, but in reality, dragging your feet makes you look inexperienced and puts your safety at risk. The moment you drag your foot, you're not allowing the bike to stabilize itself and maintain balance, thereby hurting your ability to control the bike. The faster your wheels turn, the more stability the bike gains. Dragging your feet, on the other hand, slows you down unnecessarily, making your ride less smooth. You might feel nervous to put both legs on the foot peg because you're scared of losing balance. The key is that your bike is designed to have balance once it's in motion, so start riding already and do it at a good speed. In the final stage, we have number 15, putting your bike in neutral at every single stop, especially in traffic. Putting your motorcycle in neutral at every single stop indicates that you can't move quickly. That extra second you use to find first gear could be the difference between avoiding danger and becoming a victim of an accident. It's the same thing as untying your shoelace every time you stop walking. It doesn't make sense. It's not helpful and leaves you unprepared to move. Better still, you can put your bike in neutral when you get to a longer stop, but stay in first gear with the clutch in when you're in traffic. Being able to move swiftly makes you look experienced. There's a slight distinction between amateurs and professional riders. That distinction lies in how they ride their motorcycle and the habits they exhibit. Both categories can be easily identified with these habits. These are the 15 amateur rider habits that should be dropped in 2025. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in our next video.